Yo, the waiting is over. Yeah. Look, they say boxing is a death sport. Ashes to ashes, like trash in the alley. Cashes is cashes, which means we could compete. As long as I got breath in my lungs and my 2 feet and a strong heartbeat, we could rumble, young man. Put the gloves in your hands. The talking is over. All that we were arguing over is over. We could sit in silence before the noise and the roars and arena doors open. Before we throw hands, we satisfy the demands. This is for the fans, my legacy, my little mans who looked up at me like that. You're about to hurt them bad. Yo, this shit is serious. The big fish and the fisherman, the old man in the sea. But before you all see the violence and the bloodshed, we can sit in silence. But before you all see the violence and the bloodshed, we can sit in silence. Think you're a monster, don't you? Ugly, breathing vulture. A beast put it down my skyline. Notifications on my timeline. But this shit is the A side. You think you King Ghidorah? But this is King Nello, ninja, the king of the monsters. Take 3 of you to step to the giant, but I'm defiant. Face of boxing, I'm a legend, like the Mayans. Yeah. Let go. Nelo. Let go. Nelo. You think you King Ghidorah? You think you King Ghidorah? You think you King Ghidorah? You think you King Ghidorah?
Live, only on DAZN, Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. One is defending a name, the other is building one. The ring doesn't care where you come from, only if you can survive in it. Saturday, June 28th, Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
Up off that? Yeah. Yes. Up off. Hey! Y'all know what day it is. Y'all know what day it is, huh? Girl. It's Taco Tuesday. Bye. What's up, my people? This is ShowBizz, don't. All right, man. Look what we have here. Let me see. Alex the Trucker. With you. Let me see. Baby boy. What's going on with you? Whoops. All right, man. Look. First I want to say this. Everybody, welcome to the Taco Tuesday. If you haven't done it, please close out the chat, hit the like, and give it up for the Von.
Bring on this with the laugh and do the cabbage patch. She's a pretty lady, and then sign some autographs. The burn your man can boing boing.
Hit the Tyson Bell. And hold on, I swear before Lord, the first thing we have to do is give it up to the lady.
You should let me in.
Hit the Tyson Bell, baby. And hold on. Wait a minute, fellas. Wait a minute.
Yeah, put it simply in here. I like surprises. I came here for prizes. Big booty and thighs is promising my guys is how I could get inside this. Stupid, I realize this, but there's so much I wanna know about you, but I don't really wanna know. That's what they say. You make it too hard for a nigga. I got you, but I got the time. Let's make it work.
Hit the Tyson Bell. Are we in a bit? Hell no, we not. We outside.
It can happen when you're outside. You can lose a fight, see a chick, have a con with that vibe. You can ride a bike, see a nigga, and ask him if he's alright.
Hit the Tyson Bell. All right, everybody, welcome to the Taco Tuesday. I ain't got nothing for you. Good night. No, I'm just playing. Hey, hold on. After that long ass intro, good night. Let me see. Off topic biz, but did you see how Jamal Hill is refusing to fly to Baku due to concerns in the Middle East, even though he's heading the UFC card? People are mad, but I think of fighter safety first. Yeah, I had no idea. You know, I've been out the loop with that there. Hit the Tyson Bell. But I get it, brother. I get it. I remember, you know, they needed some, you know, job opportunities. Listen, after Nick Berg, y'all remember Nick Berg? I'm not saying it's the same damn thing. I'm just talking about, you know, when you're going somewhere for your profession, all right? And you feel like it's a dangerous situation, all right? Fresh out of Nick Berg, all right? My middle brother, he's an engineer. And they need some engineers, and they was gonna throw my brother a bunch of money, and it was like, we ain't got that kind of time. All right, we ain't that the kind of time we ain't got. So I get what you're saying. Okay, everybody, let's talk. Let's talk. What's good? Let me say this. I read the damn rule. Okay, love you, boy. That's all I need. Read the damn rule. That's all I need from you. Okay. All right, everybody. What we got? Oh, today we're going to be talking about Canelo Alvarez Crawford. That's going to be a huge fight, I think. I really do. I think it's going to be humongous. I think it's going to be a very big fight. And what's the difference between that Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson? There's going to be some differences there, but I just like the way this is kind of rolling out. All right, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Hitchins, because we felt to. After I called the fight, you know, I went out, kicked it, and then it was Father's Day, and then it was kind of like, all right, we're just going to wait for the Taco Tuesday to talk about how Hitchins got everything lit. Who is he going to fight, Haney or T.O. next? Let's talk about that. We're going to go around the ring. We got some shit to look at. I'm telling you this. Daniel Dubois is looking like he's in some shape. Dude, I think I'm going to put money. I may do it today on my bookie, bro. I think I'm gonna put money on Dubois to win. Is Usyk the favorite? Yeah. Is he a better fighter? Yes. I'm getting this strange feeling, bro. Like the guy thinks he's better, and he has his reasons too. All right, we'll talk about that. There were some responses to the no running rule from Teofimo Lopez, Eddie Hoyne, Ryan Garcia. We'll talk about, we just got shit to talk about. Let me see. Crazy Legs, my guy. Let me see. If Canelo Crawford fight is a classic, do you think a rematch would happen? Yeah. Or would Canelo retire if he wins? No. Canelo's going to be fighting until he's one of those, he needs his ass whipped, like again and again. Like he's one of those. He's going to keep fighting. He just got to, he loves fighting, and he got that huge chip on his shoulder. Let me see. Does young Crawford beat the Canelo Floyd beat? Does young Crawford beat the Canelo Floyd beat? That is a crazy question. Does a young Crawford beat the one that Floyd beat? So you're talking about young Crawford, though. So it's a young Crawford, too. You're really asking me who's greater pound for pound, like who's a better fighter. No, that's not what you're asking me, because stylistically, okay. I'm trying to see how that fight would look. I'm going to say Canelo knocks him out. I'm going to say a young. I already know my brother's gonna be like, you hate black people and stuff like that. But I have to speak on just what as plus I got the taco hat on, and so I get it. But I'm just saying, based on just stylistically and how they fight, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why in a minute. Hit the Tyson bell. I'll tell you why in a minute. Actually, I'm not going to tell you. Shane Mosley going to tell you. All right. So look. Actually, no. We're just going to do it now. We're going to do it now. Hold on real quick. We're going to do it right now. Hold on. Let me get the listen, bro. I can get bullied into saying what y'all want me to say, or I can just be the man that I am and say what I think. But hold on. Let's play the receipts. Receipts, motherfucker! Check out what Shane Mosley said.
Canelo and Crawford.
I think Canelo's too big for Crawford. I think that the reason why, if Crawford was a mover like the rest of the fight, then maybe he can have a good chance with Canelo. But I think that being that Crawford is a fighter, that's gonna be dangerous. That's gonna be his problem. He's a fighter. He wants to fight. He's gonna move a little bit, but his heart is not in moving. So he's gonna have to sit there and fight with Canelo. And if you sit there and fight with Canelo, and he's that much bigger than you, then I don't know. But everybody think, Crawford, he's a great boxer. He's this, he's that, which he is. He's a great fighter, and I think he's a great fighter at 140, 47, and he seems just to be, good at 54. And now we're going to 68. And he's a very nice person too. He actually trained at my gym when he was getting ready to fight Mayweather. Canelo did.
I think he sparred Boots' brother.
Yeah, he's sparring Boots' brother right now.
Boots is really good.
Yeah.
I kept that last part in because we thought that Canelo was sparring Boots, because that was implied. He's actually sparring Derek Ennis. All right, Pooh Ennis. All right, and he sparred him before. Okay, but what Shane Mosley said sounds exactly like what the War Room has said. I've had that take many a times when people say ShowBizz, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Well, now you have a Hall of Fame fighter saying the exact same thing. Hold on real quick. Crawford, my favorite fighter. I think Canelo might smoke him, and I'm low-key scared of the arm punches the most. Me too, the punch on the arm, yeah. But I do hope Bud wins top 5 ever. I get that. I hope Bud wins too. Okay, so here's my thing. And I've been saying this. Terrence Bud, Paul Rudd, Elmer Fudd, Nello, and I. That's hilarious. Look, all right. I got greens, beans, potatoes. You name it. Crawford, Canelo, that matchup. What Shane Mosley, I'm going to give 2 things. What Shane Mosley is saying, I've been saying since the very beginning repeatedly. So it's good to hear an all-time great fighter have the same type of thoughts that I'm having, okay? That makes me feel good as an analyst too, all right? With that said, how people see Terrence Crawford is not how he is at all. And I've been saying this over and over again, but for some reason, people brains can't do it. Like, they'll see it, but their brain can't say that's how he is. Let me tell you, bro. Crawford fights with his size and physicality more than people realize. Crawford fights with his size and physicality. He's a great athlete. It reminds me of Roy Jones Jr. in the sense that, not that they fight the same. Listen, bro, I can never just say something. I got to come because the brains are. It's not that they fight the same. What I'm saying is what they have to approach a fight. Roy Jones Jr. had high boxing IQ for what he was. You get what I'm saying? Like, with his athleticism, he knew that like a genius. So he knew how to use what he had at a genius level. But when he lost it, his IQ wasn't that of, let's say, Floyd Mayweather, James Toney. Floyd Mayweather IQ, it doesn't matter his physicality. That's how I feel about Crawford. Hold on. I got Bud. Nelo can't move like Madrimov. Okay. So you only got to be Madrimov to give him a fight. Fine. Here, I think differently. Terrence Crawford, on the other hand, all right? Terrence Crawford has high IQ, genius IQ for what he brings to the table, just like Roy. What Crawford brings to the table, Crawford has always been bigger, stronger, faster than his opposition. And for some reason, people's brains don't see that. He is so strong. He is so quick. He's fast and he's strong and he's athletic. And he used those things against his op. Gamboa couldn't match his size, bruh. Kell Brook can match his size, but not his strength, speed, athleticism together. Errol Spence is tough and strong, but he couldn't meet his athleticism, power, strength. That's why he just whooped your ass. I'm telling y'all. He has high IQ, yes. His defense, the little things he does is tremendous. But what really make him an ass kicker is what he brings to the table physically, and he knows that. And like Shane Mosley says, he fights that way. He's a fighter. He's not a runner. He's not a dancer. He's not super slick. He's a fighter, bro. I'm telling you, dog. And that's when it comes to the matchup, that's my problem. People are blind. Crawford was getting touched by Sean. Right. When he heard he was down, he didn't start boxing. He got more violent. The guy is mean as a snake. I've been saying it forever. Crawford looked me dead in my eyes and said, I'm going to outbox him. I knew from then he was going to beat Canelo because he got a plan. He's not going for a KO. I understand. But the difference, and I get that because I'm rooting for Crawford too. But let me tell you the difference. The difference is if I'm going to bet my money, which I am on my bookie, when it comes to your money, I'm betting on shit that I've seen. I can't say, okay, he's going to do something I haven't seen. He's going to fight in a way I've never seen. So let me put my money on that. Not to say he can't do it. I'm just not going to put my money on it. I'm going to say this is Canelo, this is Crawford, and I'm going to analyze it based on the data we have. That's all I got. And that's the black two sugars. My other thing is this. Here's where the rubber meets the road. And this is different than who will win in their primes at the same weight class. This is different. Totally different. It's the polar opposite. The advantages Crawford has, I want you guys to listen to me. All right? I know it's hard to do because you're already about to come with the rebuttal and start typing. Just listen for a minute. The advantages Crawford has, he loses a bit in this fight. The advantages he has, he loses a bit in this fight. He loses a bit of those advantages. If the advantages are like this that he has over Canelo, it shrinks a bit for this fight. Why? If he has the speed advantage, right? It shrinks a bit. The athleticism advantage, physically, not what you can't measure. I'm talking about what you can measure. The advantages you can measure. It shrinks a bit for this fight because now he's 38. I understand if you think he's superhuman or a mutant, he's a human being. So it shrinks a bit. He's not as fast or whatever at 23. Okay. So at 38, the gap shrinks a bit. I'm just talking about reality. And at 168, the speed advantage that he has, the athleticism, those advantages shrinks a bit. That's all I'm saying. It shrinks. We don't know how much it shrinks, but it does. In reality, not comic books, not movies, not cartoons. I'm talking about if you're going to put your money on it. That people don't. He has the speed advantage. Don't just say that, because don't look at him at 140 and see how fast he is. We're talking about 168 at 38 years old. He still has a speed advantage, yes, but it's not at the advantage as you imagine when looking at him at 28 years old at 140 pounds. You get what I'm saying? I would love for Roy Jones Jr. versus Mike Tyson to look like prime Roy versus Mike. I would love for Mike Tyson to look like prime Mike versus Jake Paul. It shrinks. In reality, it changes a bit. Okay? When it comes to Canelo, the advantages he has increases a bit. Canelo is old and slower now too. Okay, Charles? Now, if you're just, I understand that, but I want you to just think. Now, I'm not going to try to discourage you from thinking Bud is going to win and rooting for Bud. Do you? I'm just talking about the truth. Okay? The advantages Canelo has. Now, Canelo, he's old and slower now too. He's 33, 34 though. Crawford is 4 years older. So no matter what, all right? If you're 4 years older than you get what I'm about to say. There's no way I have too much respect for you. You're smart enough to know that if I get older and you're 4 years older than me and you get older too, it just, right? You get that part, right? So the distance between, don't worry about it. But what I have to say is this. Canelo has a strength and power advantage, all right? That increases because Crawford never been at 168 before, and he started at 135. It increases on who you're punching. So Canelo has a power advantage, but when he punched Berlanga, it's one thing. When he punched Amir Khan, it's another. People say he hasn't had a knockout in a while. That's at 168. If he punches somebody who's built for 147, that's another thing. That's all I'm saying. All right. Now, please, we don't have to all bet on the same guy here. We don't have to all think the same person's going to win. But those elements are true. Now take those elements and still say Crawford will win all you want. It's fine. But we don't have to disagree on those things that are obviously true. Because of those things, I'm leaning more towards Canelo. Those things don't matter as much for you, and you're still going for Crawford. Fine. But we don't have to say that those things aren't true, though. That's all I'm saying. We can disagree on who's going to win, but we ain't got to lie to ourselves about those fundamental facts. Let me see. Flex on them. What's good, ShowBizz? Why are people still not listening? They are still using Muhammad Ali as an example when you have explained it a dozen times already. It's like they are purposely trying to tarnish your image and logic. That's what they're doing. I figured that out. I was looking at the comments and I said, oh, they're not morons, right? They're crabs in a barrel. So really, they are purposely either they're fans of somebody or they're bots, and they're purposely trying to change the narrative of what's actually being said and tarnish the whole push and maybe try to wear me out to stop it, to say we stop ShowBizz again. They're just haters, bro. I realize now they're not that stupid. You know what I'm saying? They're actually purposely on some other shit. And we do that to each other. That's what we do. All right. You know what I'm talking about. That's what we do. All right. It is what it is. Canelo has a higher plus minus rating than Crawford. I never seen a defensive highlight from Bud that matches the Canelo Jacob clip. Yeah, but that's no longer Canelo. But I get what you're saying. Canelo has also most skilled fighter Bud ever fought. Exactly. So yeah. I don't think Crawford's not the most skilled fighter Canelo ever fought. But Canelo is definitely the most skilled that he ever fought. Now we got fanboys saying Madrimov is better than Nelo. I know. So now it's like, hey, the way Madrimov moved, though, Virgil Ortiz
made short work. The way he moved was, though it was too much for Crawford, the Canelo, who was far greater than this guy, he doesn't give the same issues. It was the tricky movement of Madrimov's brilliance that Crawford couldn't figure out. It's the weirdest thing in the world. It's like, okay, that means Canelo whips his ass. It's like, it doesn't it doesn't mean that, you know what I mean? Where's Madrimov now? That fight Bud had with Madrimov made Madrimov damn Charlie Burley. All of a sudden, nobody's talking. That's why I said I can't wait to hear how Bud fans talked after Ortiz. I knew Ortiz was going to win. I won money on it. But now nobody's talking about Madrimov. When last time I heard somebody bring up Madrimov? Right? I'm telling you. Wait, when Tank knocks out Lamont Roach, it's going to be the same shit. Let me see. It's gonna be the same shit, same toilet. Okay, but I want to say this. We could continue talking about the matchup. I think we're gonna go over the hour. I can tell. All the Crawford fans, out your money on it. Fine. Here's the thing. My thing is this. My thing is this. I am not, whatever y'all doing in the war room, Canelo fanboys versus Crawford fanboy, that's not me. I'm rooting for Crawford. I love to see some weirdly great shit. Because I'm rooting for him don't mean I got to think he wins. You know what I mean? Because you're a huge fan of somebody doesn't mean he beats the whole world. You know what I mean? But if you think he wins, that doesn't mean that the next person is stupid for thinking otherwise. That doesn't mean you're against them either. I'm against you because you think Canelo win. Can he think what he thinks? Can she think what she thinks? And then we all watch it together. And whoever, I'm pretty sure somebody want to say, I told you so. Right? But when you watch it, hey, that was a good fight. Then on to the next one. Let me see. Hopefully it made boxing bigger. Off topic, but have you heard anything on Better Be a Bivol Trilogy? No, I haven't heard anything. Crawford got bounce. Canelo walk in quicksand. There you go. That's what's going to happen. The bounce. I want to show this real quick, and then we'll look at that. It's a great fight. We win already. Dog, that's what I'm saying. This is beautiful. Look, I want to say this too, real quick. All right. I did make a X post. All right. His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh responded to it. All right. Hold on, everybody. Here's
Hey yo! Comments!
Fix me some of that Dick Gregory.
Fixing some of that Dick Gregory. What I said was, I was just talking about how insane it was to see the promo of Canelo versus Crawford press conference on Netflix on Monday Night Raw last night. And he gave the flame emoji with the boxing glove. His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh responded, right? Listen, hold on real quick. Listen. What's up, bro? Blessings. Ain't been rocking with Canelo lately due to cherry picking, but they saying if he beats Crawford, he going for Eubank. Thoughts? I don't like that fight. I'm trying to get him to go versus Bivol. Oh, of course. So listen. That move is so important for this fight, and it's so important for boxing. All right. Look, I can't for the life of me. I saw people responding, talking about, yeah, but he won't outsell Gervonta Tank Davis, though, against Roach. Listen, we can say that, but anytime someone say they got Bud, the war room starts squabbling. It's just an opinion. Right, it's just an opinion. Listen, I saw people saying, well, it won't outsell Gervonta versus Roach. Understand this, all right? Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? The point is, we want Canelo and Crawford to do as well as it possibly can. Even if you are a Tank fanboy, even if you are a Ryan Garcia fanboy, or whatever fanboy you are, you want Canelo Crawford to do very well. because the more eyes on Crawford Canelo, the more eyes on boxing, which is the more eyes on your favorite fighter. Right? Don't cut off your nose and spite your face. With this Netflix thing, to see the commercial on Monday Night Raw, which WWE is far bigger than boxing, far bigger than boxing. But everyone should know who Canelo is. Probably not everyone doesn't know who Crawford is, but everyone should know who Canelo is. And you got generations of people watching WWE every Monday night. And they're going to be advertising the press conference. The press conference. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul was this weird ass spectacle. And it didn't even need that much advertisement, but it got it. It got its own show even. But that wasn't for boxing. That was for the spectacle. Boxing got an indirect plug with Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano putting on a classic on the undercard. So we won. But what I'm saying is now when you start adding press conferences, lead ups on Netflix for the free, if you got a subscription, boxing wins. You want this to blow up as much as possible. Listen, case in point. Case in point. Case in point. Canelo has been steadily declining. So has Crawford. Case in point, bro. Case in point. Somebody earlier brought up people trying to ruin my image or whatever. All right. But understand, the bigger the war room get, the more opportunities you have. There's no way in hell I would hate on Akim Barak, Radio Raheem, who opened up doors for me to walk through. It's my job to open up more doors for others. So why try to destroy our image, the war room, the ShowBizz, the adult community? Why try to destroy that when we're opening up doors? Now you have the business of boxing looking in a different talent pool, which is YouTube, to get to the bag. So instead of hating and trying to ruin my image, get your work done. Clean your shit up. Because you can get to the bag and you can help open up more doors for those following you. So instead of saying, well, it won't sell as much as Javante though, bruh, this has to win. This wins, boxing wins. The crab in the barrel mentality, stepping on each other for some kind of self-satisfaction that doesn't take you nowhere but keep you at the bottom, that shit is dead, bro. Boxing is in too fragile of a place for us to be so divided. We got to push this fight. We got to push the fight. And that's the Black Two Sugars. We got to push the fight. Let me see. After the Bud fight, he got 2 fights with left with who you think he's going after then if he wins? I already heard. I already heard. I'll tell you right now. Bivol. But I did hear about the Eubank thing. But through the grapevine, the whispers I'm hearing is Bivol, actually. After Crawford is Bivol. He wants Bivol more than he wants anything. He wants his revenge on Bivol. He would love his revenge on Floyd. I spoke to Canelo. Canelo doesn't take losing well. He wants get back. His focus is actually Bivol. That's the Black Two Sugars. His focus is Bivol. Now, he does think Crawford is easy money. He does. He thinks that's easy work. You know, you don't want to overlook Crawford. Find yourself now mad at somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Because I think he thought Bivol was easy work too. I think he did. And when he comes like that, pause, you end up with an L. Okay. Let me see. Pac-Man the Savage. Okay, everybody. Before we move on, hold on. So you're okay with this circus? It belongs with WWE because weight classes are for a reason. Why would I want Canelo and Crawford to do better than Canelo and the Mexican Monster? Well, Real McCoy, I don't know what you want, and I don't want to convince you on what you should want. Want what you want, brother. But Canelo versus the Mexican Monster ain't even a fight. Why would you want it to do better than what? It's not. It doesn't exist, right? So you want something that doesn't exist to do better than something that we have? So since we here and we have it, let's push it. It's here. Why you wanted to do poorly because of a fight that doesn't exist? Number two, people do want to see the fight and are curious. This is the biggest fight in the world, regardless of what you personally want. Let me tell you what I mean. I didn't want this. I wanted Canelo versus Benavidez, and I wanted Crawford versus Boots. And I was pushing it. And I put a poll up. I said, do y'all want Canelo versus Crawford? The results of that poll, the high percentages of people wanted Canelo and Crawford. I said, okay, then let's give the people what they want. I ain't crying over spilled milk. This is what the people want. It's my job. I do it all the time. Listen. Real McCoy. When I watch boxing, let's talk about the May 2nd event real quick. May 2nd, May 3rd. Let me tell you a secret. It didn't bother me. I love boxing so much. I don't think anything really bothers me that bad, to be honest. I can find the beauty in almost everything in boxing. But I'm always looking in the comments and I'm looking at y'all. And I'm like, the people are very discouraged. And I'm for the people. So I already start thinking of how do I fix this so this doesn't happen again, because boxing can lose. So regardless of what I personally want, I'll put the poll up. The people want that. Then let's go. And I will show you another. I will show you another example of it in a minute. Let me see. Or better yet, Crawford versus Pacheco. That'd be nice. Or Mexican Monster. Notice why I said it in that order. Yeah, that's fine. But you don't have the money to put up to make the fight. So it doesn't matter. What matters is the fight that's happening. So you can unplug, don't watch it, which you will. You're going to watch it, Real McCoy, because you're interested. No matter how much you're talking. You may want something else more. It doesn't matter, bro. It's going to be on Netflix. You're going to be right there. And you're going to be screaming. And you're going to be enjoying yourself. So why fight against it, bro? Why fight against it? You know the truth. Let me see. And if you're not, don't. But the rest of the world will be. This fight might be like Foreman versus Holyfield. Holyfield's getting busy, bro. Facts. I said the same thing about the Tank Jake Paul fight. I knew I was gonna be watching the shit. Yeah, no matter what I say, I'm gonna be sitting right there watching that shit. Hold on. Let me see what we have. Let's move on real quick. Because I wanted to watch Crawford versus Madrimov, but I'm not sure if I'm whitelisted for that. So let me move on real quick. Never bet against Crawford. You shouldn't. Let me see. Okay. So Hitchins has arrived.
A couple of years ago, right here in Madison Square Garden, where Lomachenko was putting body shot from Hitchins, and that may be a walk-off home run.
The pain from the body lingers. It's not going to go away. This fight's over.
That is it.
He's saying move up to 147. So right now I got a lot of opportunities right now, as far as being able to go up to 147 and hopefully he'll, give me the opportunity because he's still the guy, and the opportunity is definitely real. I mean, I think that fight, the people want to see me and Devin Haney, me and Teofimo. I've been saying for a long time now that they're gonna have to put my name in this conversation. You feel me? Because if you want to see superb boxing, you got to put me in that conversation with the Devin Haneys, the Ryan Garcia, the Teofimos. And I've been telling y'all for the longest, I'm just as good as these guys, even better. Eddie been telling y'all, my manager been telling y'all, my team, my coaches, everybody been telling y'all. But I guess it took that for y'all want to listen to and hear us now.
It does. It does, Hitchins. It takes the work, not just you saying it. So yeah, we believe you now, though. I thought Hitchins was a B fighter. I'm like, I haven't seen A fighter out of Hitchins. That was some A shit. So he's an A fighter. And it takes seeing it, not guesswork. You know what I mean? A lot of you guys thought Madrimov was the next Willie Pep. And then you saw like, oh, okay, never mind. Right? It takes the work. Hit the Tyson bell. And you don't even have to win. You don't even have to win for people to believe you. Lamont Roach got a draw. People believe. Pitbull lost to Javante. People believe. Madrimov lost to Bud. Look at Charles Baker. He got the best feet he's seen since Ezra Charles. People believe. A lot of times it don't even take a victory. But when you smoke Cambosas like that, we believe. Now, the thing is, he called out Haney and T.O. and shit got super confusing. And
Devin Haney, fuck you, nigga. Let's fight. Devin Haney, fuck you, nigga. Let's fight. Devin Haney next. Fuck Devin Haney and Bill Haney. Pussies, New York, stand up, baby. We here, baby.
That fight you want, is that something we've been hearing about you, Vucenis, Devin Haney? Is Richardson Hitchins the fight that you want to do next?
I don't know. Let me hear it, New York. Y'all want to see that fight? All right, man. I'm all about the people. Let's go, baby.
Shout out to everybody that came out to the fight. Everybody that bought the fights. Me and Teofimo next. I got rid of the job he couldn't get done. See you next.
So, foul mouth. Yeah. Let me see. Hitchins beat Haney Garcia. Prove me wrong. He might F around and give Tank that work. Or what, he has to prove you right or wrong. I mean, we can't do nothing about it. We haven't seen enough of them, just Cambosas. But with that said, though, who is he going to fight? Haney or T.O.? This is a tough question. All right, Hitchins stood on business. Yeah, this is a tough question because, one, when it comes to Haney, there's a few boundaries here. One, he have to fight him at 147. Haney said, "Fight me at 147." So he have to agree to fight him at 147. All right. Number two, the business would have to feel comfortable with the fact that that is a demanded fight after what the performance Haney had against Ramirez. All right. And to look at that style, those styles, and say, that's the fight. T.O., on the other hand, he's at 140. Hitchins and T.O. they're doing like the same thing. Hitchins is a little bigger, right? So he can fight at 147. T.O. can fight at 147. But they're right there, and there's less boundaries. All right. And T.O. didn't put up that type of performance against Barboza. Okay. But here's the interesting thing. I put Gary name out there, Biz. Well, that's not for me to put out. Hitchins brought up Haney or T.O. So we're gonna talk about what Hitchins is talking about next, Haney or T.O. Now, we're not just talking about fantasy fights, but Hitchins said Haney, T.O. All right. And they both. So that looks like that's closer to happening next. Even Eddie Hearn was saying T.O. Okay. So with that said, he ain't say Boots. That's right. He ain't say Boots. He said Haney, T.O. Okay. Boots going to 154. All right. So with that said, I'll put a poll out on Instagram. 1,100 people responded to this poll. But what's important is a glaring and whopping 63% want Hitchins versus Haney over Hitchins versus Teofimo Lopez. And let me tell you what that means. Let me tell you what that means. What? Yep. Let me tell you what that means. I'll watch it as a fan. That's right. I'm concerned about the future of the sport and how social media has affected our kids, making them stay indoors and miss the joys of the outdoors. We share the same concern. Salute to you. Love you, boy. Listen, bro, no way. Yes way. Let me tell you what this means. How? I'm going to tell you how. I'm going to tell you how. That X poll you posted says it all. They want to see Haney get bingo. Bingo. One. Hey, this my brother right here, man. I don't know why he's like a huge fanboy, but everything he says makes me giggle, warm and at heart. Don't change the subject because you got cooked. See, that he's just the real McCoy is my guy. All right. But that dude's such a troll. I don't know. He's a troll in a way that makes me laugh. I don't understand it because I don't like trolls. But anyway, two things. Haney, the perception of Haney, like I said, isn't what the few are trying to say. Now put this in your damn pipe and smoke it. Haney ran against Ramirez, but he's not a runner. Listen. I kept saying this while everybody kept saying ShowBizz. You're attacking Haney and I'm attacking running, but I told y'all he only did that once. It just happened to be his last fight. Now there's 1,700 people and I know y'all going to disagree and I'm going to stand on business. Haney doesn't fight like that. And most boxing fans know this. They can troll all they want. He ran against Ramirez, but he's not a runner. That's the black two sugars. That's the black two sugars. He ran, yes, against Ramirez, but Rigondeaux is a runner. William Skull was a runner when we looked him up and we know who he was. But Haney ran against Ramirez, but he's not a runner, bro. Why do you think Andy Cruz is fighting like that? Because they like, man, we that change the perception. People keep thinking it's a black thing. It's not. Bozy is like, man, the perception, we got to change that, bro. Why do you think Lara switched up and started knocking everybody out? That wasn't working. He ran around against Canelo. That wasn't working. Devin Haney is not them. He ran once. The people know that, bro. Nah, Biz, I gotta agree. Dev, what do you say? Dev doesn't fight like that. I'm telling you, bro. Facts, Biz, and fake Biz and comments. Bruh, let me see. Flex on them, yo, Unc. I'm in the building. Love you, boy. We outside at work right now. Keep elevating the shit. Thank you, brother. Oh, yeah. It's my son. Happy birthday to your son, brother. He turns 12. Big boy. He's almost a teenager. He's going to have little attitudes and his own mind, brother. Don't worry about it. Today, hit the Tyson bell. That's right. That brother. Go ahead, brother. Keep growing. We want Devin Haney's head, and we sending Hitchins for the hit. Okay. That's the second reason. Finally renewed my membership, personal trials and tribulations. But I'm back. We all know you only pick on black fighters. Just kidding. Listen. Here's the second reason. Haney has successfully done the Floyd Mayweather shit. Thanks to Bill. Is that really Bill Haney? My son is the best in the entire sport, and it's no debate in that statement. And we all know ShowBizz sucks. His thumb. Whoever that is, if that's really whoever that is, that was very fun. That was very fun. I like that. That was a good troller right there. It's a nice bit. That Biz sucks his thumb. That's very funny. Okay, but listen. Case in point, that person trying to act like Bill, that's what Bill has done. Bill has successfully gave Haney the Mayweather effect, which is, that's how you get to the bag, bro. That's how you get to the bag. If you paying to see him get whooped or you paying to see him win, it doesn't matter. You're paying. That explains this. That explains this, bro. And that's the black two sugars. By a whopping percent. And listen, Teofimo Lopez tried to do the Haney effect, saying the hard R and everything. Hey, Teo tried to do the Mayweather effect. He tried to be the bad guy. The hard R and everything. That explains that, bro. People don't like Haney more. That explains that. But here's the thing, though. Haney won't fight like he did with Ramirez. I've seen too many Haney fights. I can't throw away all those fights for that one fight, bro. That's the black two sugars. Hard ER. Yeah, you ain't lying. Let me see. You can't call Haney a runner, and he kept coming forward after Ryan dropped. Thank you. And I keep saying that's my favorite Haney fight because he was just such a gladiator the whole fight. I've seen Holyfield like that against, Riddick Bowe, he just hanging off the, and I'm like, yo, I almost had a tear in my eye, and I'm like, that's my favorite Holyfield fight. Let me see. For after Ryan dropped him several times. Yep, they are mentally, and I'm telling you, bro. People will pay to hate. That's true. Haney is going to whoop Hitchins. Who wins the fight? You know what? Who wins the fight? Keep speaking facts, Biz. Yeah, bro. Who wins the fight? Hitchins will win. Here's my problem. I do think Haney's a better fighter. All right. A better boxer. How about that? But with that Sidney Poitier fine-tooth comb fro, that Marcus Garvey, Morgan Freeman in 1985 fro, that Lean on Me, Morgan Freeman. No, I'm just playing. that Diana Ross from The Wiz natural, that Cicely Tyson close to the scalp natural, comb backwards, fine tooth comb in the front pocket. I'll play. Hold on. Let me that Gary Coleman. What you talking about, Willis? Naturally, you think we can see New Way versus Tank? I know. I think we can. I just think Tank destroys him though. I know it may be a reach, but damn, yeah. I know. All right. Let's not go there. I'm playing, Hitchins. I'm playing, brother. It's a jokey joke. Yo, talk about my eyes and all this shit. Okay. No. What I'm trying to say is, I was looking at Hitchins that fight. And what concerned me was, let's watch it. You know what, y'all? We got time. My son is out for summer break. I ain't got to pick him up or nothing. We got time. Let's watch this real quick. You get more bang for your buck with Haney fight, Pops included. Allah Akbar experience. Yeah, because they truly hate each other. So He actually hugged T.O., so that's a little different. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Let's watch it. Let's watch it. Let's watch it. Oh my God, y'all. I don't even know why I did that, bro. I don't even know why I did that. I don't even know why I did that. Okay. Before I show it, we have so much more to talk about, but whatever. Before I show it, I'm going to focus in on running biz. Okay, Tim, I'm just going to focus in on one thing. The way Hitchins ended the fight got me concerned for Haney. Okay, let me tell you what I mean. I do think Haney has better tools all the way around, but the way he ended the fight. Let me show you. Hold on. I didn't even share it. What the hell? my bad. My bad, y'all.
It's not a home game for him, but it certainly feels like it in his heart.
Okay. Oh, my bad.
A third time.
Okay. Okay, let's look at this. Let's look at this.
Steps up to the chalkboard, so to speak, to try and solve this equation.
I didn't even mean to do that, but that works. All right, here we go. I hate it, but I'm gonna have to drop a small bag on Canelo versus Bud. Yep, I don't like it because I want Bud to win. Yep, but the smarter business. That's how I feel. I'm listen. Look at his feet. Look at his feet. Once again, the difference between running and boxing. There's not a lot of runners, so don't worry about it. But right there, bam, a jab. You can be slick and be out of range. You can be engaged and slightly out of range. He doesn't take himself completely out the fight. Hitchins. I'm concerned because Hitchins is as dangerous backing up as he is going forward. Another thing, he can match Haney's height and he can match his size. All right. That left hook got me a little concerned, and y'all gonna see it. Y'all gonna see it towards the end. That's a good right hand. That, you know what, Haney is not going to be getting hit by that right hand. That's for damn sure. Okay. Hitchins ain't known for cracking, but his punch to chin ratio. All right. Hitchins not being weight drained and Haney's chin, he's going to be the puncher in that fight. I hope you guys can hear me well too. Whew. See, look how quick Kambosos' left hook was and how Hitchins ducked that with before moving his head. His head here. Let me show y'all. Let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all. Let me show you how sharp Hitchins was. Right there. He went from 0 to 60. Look. His head is right there. Right there. Watch this. Whoop. That right there, when he wasn't already moving his head. We hear you. Okay, cool. His head was right there, and then he went, whoop. That's sharp. That's when you're so sharp. Shit. You know, hey, don't dial in on the right hand. Because oops. See, Haney's gonna be see that shit. He ain't gonna be sitting there for that shit. So don't dial in on that. We're looking at how sharp Hitchins' defense is and how he's dangerous going backwards and forward. His back foot plants when he shoots the jab. Even when he steps backwards, he put the stick in the mud and then he jabs. See? Stick in the mud. Bam. 1, 2. Shit, bro. I mean, he's boxing like it's 1987, ain't he? This look like 19 with that natural. I just love this era of fighter right now. It just reminds me of back in the day. That was a good right hand from Cambosis. Oops. Devin's gonna jab his ass to hell. Pause. Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah. Devin's jab is my problem. Yeah, Devin's jab's amazing. Ain't really much you can say about that, bro. I have nothing to say a negative about that. What I can say though is Hitchins beat Cambosis worse than Devin Haney did in 24 rounds. Ooh. Cam didn't jab. Exactly. So it's kind of hard. I get what Charles is saying. It's kind of hard. But my thing is this. Pause. Look at how Hitchins fighting. Look, just download everything Hitchins been doing. How he throw his punches out of a slight Philly shell. The slick stance. The left hand is low. You know what I mean? Sometimes the earmuffs and then he jabs. You see the different looks he's giving? Watch how much it changes at the very end. And I've been wanting boxers to do this for years, and they don't. The only other fighter I've ever seen do this is Zab Judah against Corey Spinks. If you watch that fight, Zab Judah did the exact same thing. He 180'd his style and knocked him out. Hitchins did. 180'd his style and knocked him out. Watch this. Oops. The variety of shots. Parrying, weaving. Look. Controlling the distance. Look at this shit, man. The guy is Archie Moore right now. He's literally Archie Moore. Whew. Damn. If Cambosis could move his head, bro. My God. Move your head. Oops. That's not a bow and arrow jab, bro. You know, you can do it every so often, but it's not a bad habit. Like if you look, that right there, bro. Oops. Or you talking about Haney's bow and arrow jab? Well, he didn't have it against Ramirez. Thank goodness. Oops. Brother, that jab there is, jab for jab. Haney's jab is a little bit better because I think it's better everywhere. Like Haney has a great jab to the shoulder, to the head, to the body, to the, you know what I mean? But that's the one hell of a jab Hitchins got, boy. Oh, good combination. No, I ain't gonna call him sugar, bro. Right here. Bam! Crouching down. Whoop, bam! And then he's coming up like Mike Tyson. Now he's fighting like Joe Frazier. Totally switched his style into full tenacity, slugger, walk you down, earmuffs. This is the part that got me concerned for Haney. That's the part right there that got me concerned. Look. And now he's on his way. Look, earmuffs up, bam. Now it's all punch. Look, yeah, mother. Now I'm aggressive and still making you miss. Oh shit, bam. Oh shit. Whoop. Come here. Put the earmuffs up. Boy, move out the way. Put the earmuffs up. There you go, right there. That Floyd Mayweather versus Zab Judah shit. Bam. Oh shit. He decided like Solange to go and slug this guy. Okay. I want you guys to look at this again. This is my concern. Oh, shit. Boy, that jab. God. Oh, wait. No, it's too late now. Hold on. Right here, bro. Right here. Boom. Now watch me squat down on you. Good jab to the stomach. Oh shit. Whoop. Bam. Left hook. Right there. Bam. Jumping left hook. That right there scares me. It scares me that if he doesn't respect your power, he demonstrated that he would change his style into an aggressive slugging style to Rocky. The jumping left hooks from a crouch position, he ain't been doing that all fight. The adjustment. And with those things, then he went downstairs and he ended up stopping Kambosos. I saw that, and that's when I start fearing for Devin Haney. Yeah, Tank does the same thing. When you make that, and he rocks with Tank. That's right. He's been rocking with Tank and AB for a long time. Oh shit. To know when to fight and when to box, to put yourself in a punching stance, to slug when you know somebody has been softened up. That's the difference between Hitchins and Haney. Haney had Prograis softened up, but he kept it safe. You get what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, if they're boxing and Hitchins feel that Haney isn't hurting him and just trying to keep it an academic boxing lesson, he can turn it into that. He has that in his pocket to start trying to beat him up and stay defensively responsible. He can launch while Devin Haney's trying to back up. He can squat down and launch and go get him. Killer instinct. That change in levels, that's what scares me. That's the only reason I watched that whole thing with you guys is to look at the difference between 80% of that fight and when he decided to knock out Kambosos. Kambosos, to me, is like a lightweight Andy Ruiz, very disappointing after becoming champion, just never delivering. Well, yeah, I mean, we knew what Kambosos was, bro. We knew who he was, bro. That's why when he beat T.O., everybody was rushing to fight Kambosos, right? Nobody was rushing to fight Devin Haney, all right? But when Kambosos became champion, everybody was full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I agree. That's my problem. That's my problem with that matchup. Hold on, y'all. Let me see. Okay, everybody, let's take a quick break and let's go around the ring.
Niggas be acting like they can't get it, man.
Yeah,
they can't get it, man.
Hey, I slapped Steven so hard. Yeah, that look real. They here to test me for steroids.
Siento triste porque como ustedes sabrán hoy es el día del papá y estoy esperando una llamada de Kishan, mi hijo. No me ha llamado a felicitarme. ¿Por qué razón? Señor. Kishan, tu papá está esperándote. Falta de respeto.
Niggas be acting like they can't get it, man.
Yeah,
they can't get it, man.
Bud Crawford's hilarious. All right, I'm telling you, that Dubois is in crazy shape. And that Hamza Shiraz, hey, man, Berlanga's my boy. But, bro, let me see. Brian Norman Jr. Thursday. Who you got? Yeah, I'll be calling that fight. I got Brian Norman. I'll be calling that fight. Brian Norman by knockout. Let me see. Lightweight Ruiz. Somebody said, Bud actually said, Bud's going to stop Canelo, I think his name. He actually said, I missed something. I hate, but I'm going to drop a small bag. Let me see. You get more bang for your buck with Haney fight. Pops included. Wait, Ari, I don't know which one. I missed something. Hit Tyson bet. Bro, I'm just saying. The Dubois is taking this very seriously. I know Usyk is, but Usyk is taking it as seriously as he always does. He's always dialed in, right? Like, it's like Crawford Canelo. Canelo's taking it very seriously, like he always does. But Crawford, right? How he's taking it. So Dubois, it was already tooth and nail with Usyk, except for Usyk was able to beat him with experience and beat him with endurance. Dubois has learned a lesson from that. He has increased his endurance for sure. That big Baby Miller fight was something else. But then knocking out AJ, now he's feeling a certain way. And he also feels that he was robbed of a knockout because he hit Usyk on a belt line. So he's going to be drilling Usyk's body. Pause. I promise you, he's going to be going after his body nonstop. Nonstop. There's a few things you can learn from what you already did with Usyk, from the few times AJ hurt Usyk to the body and the ref warned AJ. Better BF dropped Usyk to the body in the amateurs. You can learn a lot. And you can learn from Tyson the Gypsy King Fury, the first fight, the uppercuts he was landing on Usyk when he rocked him once or twice. There's stuff that Dubois has looked at that he is like, bruh, low blow or not, the ref called, that's right. Low blow or not, you know to go there, though. You know to go there, right? Hit the Tyson bell. I'm feeling a certain way. I'm feeling a certain way. Okay. Let's move forward. We do have the XFiles. We have an X from Ryan Garcia.
Twitter fingers.
Cheese. His name is Cheese.
It's cheese, snitches. X-Files, mother.
Hey, diabolical. Diabolical. The funny thing is that's actually Fury. Fury be having his belt line to a. Okay. Here's what Ryan Garcia had to say. He said the no running rule is wild. He says the no running rule is wild. He says no running rule is wild. Which something had to be done. Something had to be done. Something had to be done. Except I didn't want for fighters to be undervalued. Let's listen to Eddie Hoyne and what Eddie Hoyne had to say, because this is what I've been saying.
I like to see exciting fights, right? We all do. Not everybody fights like that. And as a promoter whose job is to guide the career of a fighter successfully and to see him continue, hopefully, to win, it would be kind of moronic of me to say to a fighter that you've got to stop, you've got to start trading, you've got to start fighting in the pocket. They're like, what? Like, that's not what I do. It's not moronic of Turkey because he's paying the bill and he's not really guiding the career of fighters. Do you know what I mean? He's just saying, I'm paying for entertainment. Fucking entertainment. And I'm overpaying you. So when I overpay you, you better excite me and the fans. And then they don't, and it's like, that was a fucking waste of money. And he's very honest about it. I don't think I could ever say that to a fighter, but what you can say is, to all fighters, just understand this. If you fight like that, no one's going to want to watch you. And if no one wants to watch you, people aren't buying tickets. And if people aren't buying tickets and people aren't tuning in, then you're not going to get opportunities and you're not going to get the money you deserve.
Facts. It's just the hardcore facts. Men. Women already think logically. It's the men that think emotionally. I realize that. But I need for you men out there to just think logically, not emotionally, and who you are fanboying for. All right? Think logically. If people don't like the shit, they won't pay. Now, you can go further. You can go further and say, well, I think people don't know what they're looking at, so they should like it. You can try that, but people going to like what they like. Sorry. It's like the Grammys. All right? No, not the Grammys, the Oscars. Have you ever watched the Oscars? put you to sleep every time. If you want to go to sleep, watch the Oscars. All right, the Oscars, best movie. Passa pour toi from this best movie. That movie got everything. The score, it got perfect acting. You should like it. Well, I don't. All right, I don't. I'm gonna watch John Wick. John Wick, that's Rock'em Sock'em Robots. You don't like the perfect. I like it. I'm a pugilist. But that doesn't mean I got to say everybody else should like it. I listen to y'all. What do y'all like? ShowBizz. We're not into. So the point is, if that's going to be on TV, people going to be like, I ain't watching that shit. So I'm like, how can we make people say, no matter what we tune in, if it's boxing, I'm going to enjoy it. Who's fighting? It doesn't matter. It's boxing. Just like the UFC. It's the UFC. So it doesn't matter. I know it's going to be fun. When Dana White made those changes, on their back, do you know Royce Gracie wouldn't be shit today? The on your back grappling person, they were like, damn, you done shifted a whole game to where strikes mean more, and now it's more of a stand up and fight type of thing. Yes, because people want to see that shit. Sorry. But don't you love the mechanics of you grab the wrist and then you sit there for 20 minutes and then you grab an earlobe and you pull them closer? Yes, there are people who will get that. But most people are about to turn and say, I don't like watching UFC. It's two dudes in their drawers cuddling. That's how it turns. So I got to change that shit. No matter how much you say you want, the business is going down. That's what I was talking about. But the difference is I didn't want those people to not get paid. So I said, let's do a no running rule. Because I don't want them exiled. But now things are different. The business is saying, if you fight like that, I'm not going to pay for it. I'm not going to add you to my card. Now, William Skull, do you know he ain't going to be on nobody's card, bruh? Not in the States. Nobody's going to say, hey, who you got? William Skull. I can't do it. I'm not going to put him on my card. I didn't want that to happen to Haney or Shakur or anybody else. So people getting paid less, being valued less, and two, a smaller ring. 18 by 18? That's what y'all said y'all wanted. There's definitely going to be action. I'll tell you that. But the sport got to change. Fighters, what they train to now has to change. It's going to be fun as hell, though. 18 by 18? It's going to be fun as hell. I tell you that. I have no problem. I was just saying you just made it more so towards one style than the other. But the MMA did it. UFC did it. The grappling dude laying on the ground, he ain't as effective no more. 18 by 18, y'all just going to have to train different. That's all it is. And that's the Black Two Sugars. Let me see. Good example of the no running rule. De La Hoya and Trinidad engaged for 8-9 rounds, then a no engagement in the last 3. Yep. They were just like, nah. And the thing is, my thing, David, is people say, yo, just leave it in the hand of the judges. By the time we get to the judges, the fight is over. I done wasted my money and my time. But yeah, it's okay because 18 by 18 is on. So let's go. It's up. Canelo versus Crawford in the 18 by 18. Shh. 38-year-old Crawford, first time at 168 in the 18 by 18, dog. Let me see. Don't run a rule. Penalize the fighter for excessive movement. But how does it penalize the fighter who couldn't cut off the ring if it benefits them? Because listen, excessive movement. Let me tell you something, Boxing Hacker. This is where y'all brains ain't exfoliating. Let me see. Won't work. Oh, it's bell line. This is where y'all brains ain't exfoliating. All right. There is fear. I got banned from channels for arguing this. Sadate. Listen, it's the intentions, not the movement. If you have great movement and they can't cut off the ring, then you Floyd Gotti that ass. If you got somebody that beat physically, then you Floyd Gotti that ass. Then you Ali Cleveland Williams that ass. That's what fighters do. Ask Floyd. You don't say pop. Because you're a prize fighter. You do that, you done ruined your own prize, your own brand, homie. So if you have that ability, that footwork, and they can't cut off the ring, great on you. Because you can jump in and engage, bam, 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 and get out. Just like Floyd did. You Floyd Gotti that ass, bro. Because you're a prize fighter. That's what you do. Ask Floyd. That's what you do. You still got to entertain the people. Yeah, Ben Eubank was 18-18. You saw how that went. Best fight I ever seen. Now, we got to say about that. Oh, man, that's Floyd because he was a fighter, a prize fighter, one of the greatest ever. Tenacity. Ezra Charles. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. You want to give a fighter the incentive to be great and put on great performances, especially if they got him outmatched. Not run, you got him outmatched, in and out. But now it's 18-18. Floyd was booed many times, but he was engaged. He stayed engaged. You can say what you want. He stayed engaged. And that's what they do. I just made a great point, and here he is trying to bring up something else. Get your ass out of here. Because either way, he was engaged. Whoop, whoop, bam, whoop, whoop, whoop. He was right there. He was engaged. Ain't shit you can do about it. Now you just mad that they can't hit him. He was engaged, though, because he a prize fighter. Most people don't know shit about boxing. Roger Mayweather knew. Let me see. The rule helps fighters who can't cut off the ring. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it does not. Hold on. Farmer versus Skull. Who you got? I think I got Farmer, dog. I ain't even gonna lie to you. No, it doesn't. The rule helps the fans enjoy a fight, and it helps the fighter brand improve. If you got somebody outmatched, you think it's your job. If you got the ability to stay away from a guy, you think it's your job not to hit him? One thing about Boxing Hacker, he ain't gonna get hit, and he ain't gonna hit nobody. What Boxing Hacker doesn't realize he is saying is he loved watching William Skull versus Canelo. If you don't like that shit, bruh, then you're for the no running rule. How is your brain not? It's over rounds and rounds of not engaging. So you say, come on, man, mix it up. Mix it up. You can throw a combination. Pop. You're not a fighter. Get the hell out of here. 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 We came to see fights. Boxing Hacker, I'm for you. You going up against me, fighting for you, fool. But all right, let me see. Running is different from movement. Come on, brother. He doesn't know that. He doesn't know he has a mental block. Most people do, no matter how much I say it, their mental is blocked at that point. They just like, oh, he's against Ali. You can't, brother. I'm against William Skull. I'm against Rigadial versus Casimero. I'm against when everybody complain in the war room like this fight is shit. Not when this fight is real good because Ali got great hands and it looks beautiful and I'm highly entertained. I'm talking about when the fight is shit. But it doesn't matter. Boxing Hacker, you're going up against a no running rule that 18 by 18 got implemented. So here it is. The running rule was for your benefit more than you think. But now we got 18 by 18. Game over. Boxing Hacker, game over. Now it's really for the slugger. So it's over with now. Y'all done messed up now. I ain't going to sign the petition. We ain't going to push the no running rule. I told you, y'all don't know what's good for y'all. Y'all just like to complain. Fine. It's over with now. We're going to stay away from Devin Haney. And what did Bill Haney say? Hey, whatever Turkey Ali Sheik wants, I want. Because the business is like, we're going to stay away from Haney and we're going to do 18 by 18, bruh. There you go. Facts, Biz, Boxing Hacker. I know you love Haney fan. Tell Haney stop running. Bruh, Stacey Kendra. They went up against me so much they got what was worse. But go ahead. World title fight. Millions of pay-per-views can pick any song to come out to in history. What song is it? Sadate? When I feel what I feel. The Leah version. It may not be in the mood to learn what you think you know. Hey! But at your best, you are love. You a positive, motivating force within my life. I'm coming out to that. Okay, hold on. Check out what Teofimo Lopez had to say.
There's boxing, and then there's running.
There's boxing, and then there's running.
I guess what he really is trying to say in those words is he just wants guys to box but throw punches in the middle of it. So be active. You got to be offensive at the same time. You can't win fights just moving around and having a low punch count. You know, same thing that happened to Skull against Canelo. That's not going to please the people, and it's not going to show his country and his government, you know, and his prince and king, like, this is why we're here to support the sport, you know? So it's our part as well and our duty to do what, you know, what he would like.
Boxing Hacker and many others don't know that running isn't boxing. They don't know that running isn't boxing. The movement in boxing, when you're boxing, is to put you in position to whoop his ass. Get out the way and then whoop his ass. Boxing Hacker doesn't understand the intentions of it. Roy Jones Jr. said about Shakur Stevenson, he said he loves his movement. The only problem is he's taking a half a step too far back, which is putting him out of his own range to land his own punches. So he's getting out of the way, but he can't return them. Hit, not get hit. But Boxing Hacker don't hear Roy. I'm saying the exact same thing, but I got a taco hat on my head and I'm ShowBizz. He'll probably, if Roy said it, he'll be like, uh-huh. Roy! One of the greatest fighters ever. Muhammad Ali will look at William Skull and be like, get that shit out of here. Everybody who understands what I'm saying is saying what I'm saying. But they hear what y'all say and say ShowBizz is against boxing. and y'all not hearing me. That's why it's all about the detractors. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Let me see. Pick Silence, bro. That intro song, dog. You're right. You're right. I want to perform Silence. I want to perform it for Errol Spence on his return. Okay, everybody, let's move forward. Let's do another X-File.
Twitter fingers.
Cheese. His name is Cheese.
It's cheese, snitches. X-Files, mother.
Let me see. They understand ShowBizz. They just like getting a reaction out of you and giving them attention. Yeah, and they also like to try to stop a glow up. So there's hating too. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, man, who they think they are trying to make this change? But then, okay, your motivation is something different. My motivation is for boxing. Your motivation is for something different. So you're working and you're clowning and doing all that, or maybe you love a guy. There's another guy you're just in love with and don't realize I'm for that guy too. Let me see. Go back to judging based on punch output. I've said that a few times. You still didn't answer my question, Biz. The fighter who couldn't cut off the ring is not penalized at all with your rule. Where's their penalty? There's no penalty. There's no penalty for sucking. No. If you suck, there's no penalty. Whoop his ass for sucking. Let me see. The ass whooping is the penalty. Gotti was penalized by Floyd Mayweather. He was penalized way worse than Skull tried to penalize Canelo. He was penalized way worse than Haney beating Ramirez. That's the penalty. Whoop his ass. Let me see. Not sure if you addressed this. I'm a fan. People, you forget it's a fight. Where's his penalty too? Where's his slap on the wrist? I'm trying to make you whoop his ass. I'm trying to make you whoop his ass. Belt to ass. Where Hitchins did to Cambosis. Ali did to Liston. What Liston did to Floyd Patterson. Belt to ass. But I need a smack on the, I prefer to smack on the wrist. You got him outmatched. Whip his ass. He sucked. We ain't got to worry about that with Crawford. The very best fighters, we ain't got to worry about that. Crawford versus Canelo, he's going to be there to whip his ass. Bat, bat, whoop, bat, bat, bam. He ain't going to bit. And you like, where's his penalty, bitch? You didn't answer that question. We're talking about a fight, bro. What have you been watching? I don't know what sport you think this water polo. Not sure if you addressed this. I'm a fan of the no runner rule, but do you trust the refs to enforce the rule constantly? Love you, boy. When it's necessary, they'll be trained on it. That's another thing. When you're getting trained, right? You know it. Here's the rule. Now understand that there's going to be guidelines and how to implement the rule, and we will train you, and then have a yearly reinforcement like they do every reffing conference. You understand, you get taught and get trained. And now this is what it looks like. This is what you do. This is what the people expect. You don't just hit them with a D. You get what I'm saying? Could be wrong, but an 18-by-18 ring may be tough on prelim 6-round fighters still learning the skill of infighting. Yep, the no runner rule is safer. Yep. Fanboys' motivation is to see their Pookie Wookie not get hurt. I'm saying, brother. Most forget that you're watching a fight. I'm telling you, they at the Oscars like, let me see. You have great ideas. The same day weigh-ins. Yep. And I'm for the same day weigh-ins too. Hitchins is better at 147 than he is at 140. You bet your ass on that. Haney too. Fight where you're better, where you're healthier, and where you're better. That's the Black Two Sugar. Hey, I'm gonna tell you who else. Usyk. Usyk is better at heavyweight than he was at cruiser, bro. Let me see. Here, this is what Tank had to say. He said, I feel like myself again. That is the scariest thing I have read. Okay. That is the scariest thing I have read. Gervonta Tank Davis said, I feel like myself again. That is because he's a bully. He's a violent person. All right. A natural knucklehead. Okay. That is scary for any op because it makes me wonder, what were you doing before? I know what you sounded like before. See, he went to jail for a while. Okay. Came out. He had that fight with Frank. Then something happened. Then all of a sudden he was like, man, I think I need therapy. See, when you start, let me tell you something, man. Because I ain't going to let none of you knuckleheads do this to me. When you start blaming yourself for being yourself and thinking that what you are is wrong, that's a bad spot to be in. Tank, you are different. You do like violence and you love fighting and punching somebody up his damn head. That's what you are. And if this was a different time, you'll probably be a king, a ruler of nations. Where we are right now, you feel like there's something wrong with you. And of course, you can't be that person all the time in your household with your kids and stuff like that. Of course, you got to learn how to turn that off. But you're an animal. You're a beast. You have a violent nature. Don't let nobody dim your light, though. When they cut off the mane of a lion and put a leash on him and put him in a house, he may be less dangerous, but you missed that damn lion. Don't blame yourself for being yourself. Of course, you got to make better decisions to prolong your life. Mike Tyson had to do it. Tommy Hearns had to do it. George Foreman had to do it. Everybody has to do it. But don't blame yourself for being yourself. He said, I feel like myself again. Like, wait a second. Wait a second, bro. I'm a lion. I forgot. I blame myself for being a lion. And guess what? It made me millions and be a provider. I'm king. You're unlike everybody else. You're not normal. Congratulations. And if that means you're wrong, good. I'm happy I ain't normal. I'm happy I ain't normal. And that's the Black Two Sugars. I'm happy I ain't normal. He can say how he feels all he wants, but I need to see them receipts in the ring. That's right. And now we, of course, also, what's up with the haters in your last video? Yeah, ridiculous. But Matt, you're right. Now for us, I'm not speaking for us. For us, brother, you can talk all the hell you want, right? Right, like you said, brother. If you could go right out there, yeah, I'm myself again, and then hump the canvas, or take another knee, all right? But what I'm saying is, I do like hearing that from him, though. Now we got to see it, but I do like hearing it from him, though. And I'm just saying that message resonated with me. It resonated. In the comments, I'm constantly asked why I'm how I am. Yeah, I'm different, bro. And there's a lot of you in the war room who's different too. Right? I've grown to not blame those people. Have you ever seen a sister drive in a drive-through ahead of you? She drives around and then she speeds back around, even cut you in line in your car and be like, hey, I said I wanted 2 fries, not this damn da-da-da-da. I said I wanted extra barbecue sauce. You can't hear? Hello? You may look at her and be like, damn, why you got to be like that? That's her, bruh. That's always been her. And if that ain't her, actually we'll feel sad about it. Be yourself. Now me, I'll probably go home. Like, forget it. 1 fry, forget it. Or I'll probably go in and be like, hey, here's my receipt. And I handle it different. Hey, sorry. Hello? That's how she get down. I saw this. I saw that is growth and acceptance. 100%. That's the natural maturation. Let me see. I saw this family feel exactly how I felt. They told at my daughter's high school graduation, they said, "Can you please hold your applause for the end for all of the students who graduated? If you can, parents, hold your applause until the very end." They start calling names. People held their applause. They called my daughter's name. Yo! Yeah, baby! Hell no! You walk that stage once. You walk that stage once. You can kiss my ass. That's my baby walking that stage. That's my baby. Now, you can call me what you want. Hell, everybody else who let that quiet ass kid walk across, now you feel ashamed of yourself. Oh, woo! Biz, why you gotta be like that? Kiss my ass. And I never forget, there was another family like, you damn right. Their kids walking, woo! Let me see. That's me. Haters in the comments going to see Tank in this rematch and keep that same. Y'all gonna have to keep the same entry. That's how you do it. Yeah. Let me see. Okay, everybody. This is the last thing. This is the last receipts, and then we go.
Same thing, just like last time. Just gonna do my thing, just like with every other fighter. Go to work. I got this belt for a reason. It's on my shoulder. Walking out with it on my shoulder.
And then now we're in fight week, doing the whole presser thing. Is it kind of setting in, or is it just another day?
Regarding that, it's life for me. So I mean, I've been doing this forever. Like even all the press conference stuff. Once again, just another day. I'm just over here to answer questions real quick. It's just all the prelims before I go to work.
I saw the stare down. Bro, Sasaki, or we're going to call the fight at 3 a.m. like we always do. He looked nervous. I'll tell you this. He's fighting in Japan, right? You saw the Andy Cruz fight. I don't know what it is, man. He's going to be right there. The guy he's fighting is going to be right there. It's like a Mexican style, just even more phone booth. He's going to be right there. Brian Norman is going to rip his head off his shoulders. That's the black. Just stylistically, Brian Norman's going to rip his head off his shoulders. It's just the culture. The fighting culture over there, he ain't going nowhere. Now, if it's boots, that's different. You know, even Haney or Hitchins, that's different. Just the way they box, kind of move. But in Japan, bruh, there's going to be blood. There's going to be blood. And Brian may be bleeding his damn self. But I tell you what, they're going to be sitting right there, forehead to forehead. You want to see an exciting 3 rounds? You're going to get it come Thursday morning. Let me see. You mentioned a Canelo press conference in LA. Do you think a political figure like Ali is possible today, given the current toxicity in politics? Do I think Ali is possible? It was always toxic. It was probably more toxic then. So yeah. Well, but see, that would make it less great. But see, listen. I said it to Ms. Biz. I told Ms. Biz that this is the end of the show. But I just a side note. Now we're talking about personal life. I told Ms. Biz, with everything that's happening, protests, you know, she's Mexican American. And I was like, you probably understood it before, but you feel it a little bit more. How we felt about the likes of a Malcolm X. When the structure is going in a way that hurts you emotionally. Just for the people you know, friends you know, family, whatever, what have you. Whatever side you're on. You can identify, though, why that resonated so much. You know what I'm saying? The difference, though, is when he comes to being toxic, is there's not the pressure that we get in our culture. If this was us, and like Canelo isn't getting the pressure, and that's actually a good thing. It's not all Canelo's responsibility. Canelo going to handle it and see how he and that's how he's going to handle it, and he deserves respect for that. That's how he handles it. That's how he sees the shit. Either he's not going to plug himself into it, or he don't even find himself to be the right person to speak on. He's just going to sit this one out or whatever. But there's no overwhelming stress and pressure to say, you got to be our hero. You know what I'm saying? A hero should be volunteered. You know what I mean? So can that happen today? Under the right circumstances? Probably. Not as dramatic, because what was going on then, no matter what, the conditions were worse. You know what I mean? Hit the Tyson Bear. Exactly. Let me see. A member for 17 months. Bye. Let me see. Biz, you serious now? You sound like Stephen A. Smith. You should expand into journalism. I feel you, Biz. Love you, boy. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you, everybody, for showing up and showing out. ShowBizz adult. We do have the hump day, and then I'm calling a fight Thursday morning. We'll continue with the Facts Friday. We got to continue with the week, but I will be calling the Brian Norman fight early in the morning, 3 a.m. I think it's 4 a.m. Eastern. All right, I'm out. Oh my goodness.